Have you ever felt like you're on a hamster wheel, running and running but never getting anywhere? You finish one task and three more pop up. Your to-do list is a mile long, and the idea of taking a day off, let alone a real vacation, feels like a distant fantasy. We live in a culture that glorifies the hustle, where being busy is a badge of honor. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens if you just never stop? What if you never go somewhere to relax, never disconnect, never just let yourself breathe? Today, we're diving deep into the real, scientifically proven consequences of skipping out on relaxation. The results might surprise you, and they might just be the wake-up call you need. Let's start with your brain. When you're constantly working and stressed, your body is in a state of high alert. It pumps out stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. In the short term, this is great. It helps you meet deadlines and handle emergencies. But when this becomes your default state, your brain starts to suffer. Chronic stress can actually shrink your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for memory, focus, and decision-making. You'll find it harder to concentrate, you'll forget things more easily, and making even simple choices can feel overwhelming. It's a cruel irony, isn't it? The very thing you're doing to be more productive, working non-stop, is actually making you less effective at your job. You're not just tired, your brain is physically changing for the worse. And it's not just about focus. Your creativity takes a massive hit, too. Think about it. When do your best ideas pop up? It's rarely when you're staring at a spreadsheet, right? It's usually when you're in the shower, on a walk, or just letting your mind wander. This is what scientists call the default mode network. It's a brain state that activates when you're not focused on a specific task. This network is crucial for creativity, problem-solving, and self-reflection. When you never relax, you're essentially starving your brain of its most creative fuel. You get stuck in a rut, unable to see new solutions or think outside the box. So, that big problem at work you can't seem to solve? The answer might not be in working longer hours, but in stepping away completely. Now let's talk about your physical health. The mind-body connection is incredibly powerful. The chronic stress we just discussed doesn't just stay in your head. That constant flood of cortisol wreaks havoc on your entire body. It weakens your immune system, making you more susceptible to every cold and flu that goes around the office. Ever notice how you always get sick the moment you finally take a day off? That's your body finally giving in after being in overdrive for so long. But it gets more serious than just the common cold. Chronic stress is a major contributor to high blood pressure, which increases your risk of heart attack and stroke. It can lead to digestive issues like irritable bowel syndrome, cause chronic headaches and muscle pain, and disrupt your sleep patterns. You end up in a vicious cycle. You're too stressed to sleep, and the lack of sleep makes you even more stressed and less able to cope. And let's not forget about weight gain. Cortisol can increase your appetite, especially for sugary, fatty foods, and it tells your body to store more fat, particularly around your abdomen. So working non-stop in the name of success can literally be hazardous to your health. What about your relationships? When you're perpetually stressed and exhausted, you don't have the energy for the people who matter most. You become irritable, impatient, and emotionally distant. You might snap at your partner over something small, or you might be too tired to play with your kids. You cancel plans with friends because you have to work, and eventually they might stop asking. Social connection is a fundamental human need. It's a buffer against stress and a major source of happiness. By neglecting your need to relax, you're inadvertently pushing away your support system, leaving you more isolated and even more vulnerable to the effects of stress. You're trying to build a better future for your family, but in the process, you might be damaging the very relationships that make that future worth having. And finally, let's talk about burnout. This isn't just feeling tired. Burnout is a state of complete emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. It's a deep sense of cynicism about your job, a feeling of detachment, and a belief that you're no longer effective. It's the final stage of what happens when you never, ever relax. You lose all motivation. The passion you once had for your work is gone, replaced by dread. Getting out of bed in the morning feels like climbing a mountain. At this point, taking a weekend off isn't enough. Burnout can take months or even years to recover from. It often requires a significant life change, like a long sabbatical or even a career switch. It's your body and mind's final, desperate signal that you've pushed way past your limits. So what's the solution? It's not about quitting your job and living on a beach, although that sounds nice. It's about integrating relaxation into your life as a non-negotiable necessity, just like eating or sleeping. Relaxation doesn't have to mean a 2-week trip to an exotic island. It can be small, consistent acts of self-care. It could be a 20-minute walk in a park during your lunch break without your phone. It could be dedicating one evening a week to a hobby you love, like painting, playing music, or gardening. It could be a weekend trip to a nearby town to just change your scenery. The key is to completely disconnect from work. No checking emails. No, just taking one quick call. You have to give your brain and body a genuine chance to rest and recharge. Think of it like charging your phone. You can't expect it to run forever without plugging it in. Your mind and body are the same. Taking time to relax isn't lazy or unproductive. It's a strategic investment in your long-term health, happiness, and success. You'll come back to your work with more energy, a clearer mind, and fresh ideas. Your relationships will improve because you'll have the emotional capacity to be present and engaged. Your body will thank you. So I challenge you to look at your calendar right now. Where is your relaxation time? If it's not there, put it in. Schedule it like you would schedule an important meeting. Protect that time fiercely. It's not a luxury. It's essential for a sustainable and fulfilling life. Don't wait until you're burned out, sick, and disconnected. Start today. Your future self will thank you for it. Thanks so much for watching. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on living a healthier, more balanced life. See you in the next one.